Good morning, Quan. Here's the machine, the Breville Barista Express BES860 in silver. So as you saw in the photos, it's in very good condition on the outside. It's a used machine, so some scratches around here, a bit of scratching around here, but generally very, very clean, especially for its age. And also on the inside, it's like new. I've done a full service on it, checked all the functions and cleaned it in and out. No problems at all with this machine. And yeah, in this video I'll be making a latte this morning. So when you first turn it on, it'll take about a minute to reach temperature. So you see the buttons light up, that means it's ready to go. You can warm up the machine two ways. So it's better to warm up the machine before using. So you can either wait for the minute, maybe give it 10 or 20 minutes, and it'll become nice and hot. So after 10 minutes, the portafilter will become hot. The top lid, you can even put your cups here and they'll get hot or warm at least. That's if you wait 10 or 20 minutes. But if you're in a hurry, you can also warm up the machine by running a blank shot. So putting your cup underneath with no coffee. Sorry, 1 second. With no coffee in the portafilter, this is the double basket. So just lock it in lightly and then put the cup underneath and press, let's say, the double button. This will make the hot water flow through the machine, through the internals, through the grip head, and obviously into the cup. So this will make things nice and hot. You can do that twice. That should be enough. Yeah, so that now it's nice and hot. Time to grind the coffee. So after you do this, you want to take out the portafilter and dry it with a tissue. You want it to be dry before grinding. This double basket will take about 17 grams of coffee. Obviously, you don't have to measure everything. You don't have to measure the input or the output with this machine because it's using the dual wall baskets. These are very easy to use. So even for a beginner, I think it's good. You can get a good coffee out of this machine. But if you're interested, I'm gonna measure the input and the output for you. So I'll just get a bit of the grinds out, so that we're getting fresh coffee when we're grinding. Okay. So right now the grind size is at number 10. The grind dose is at 12 o'clock and it's on single. So number 10, 12 o'clock, single. You can make it double to double your quantity. I like to do it in 2 steps. Okay, that's my first dose. I'm going to take it out and measure. 10 grams. Okay, it's a bit too much. So I'm going to bump this up to 10 o'clock. We'll see what we get now. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so that's about 16.5 grams. So I think leave this at like 10 o'clock and you should be getting about 7 sorry, about 8.5 grams. You know, between 8 to 9 grams. But anyway, so before you temp the coffee, you just want to flatten the coffee, make it nice and even all around. And then when you come to tamp it, make sure you apply nice and firm pressure, even across the puck. Again, because this machine is so easy to use, you don't have to have everything perfect. But I'm just teaching you so that, I don't know, I think it's good skills to have. Anyway, with this basket, now that we have about 16.5 grams, 17 grams, you'll notice that the tamper goes this deep, as deep as the silver part. So I've got the correct dose in it, and that's how deep the tamper goes. It's a good way to know that you have the correct temp. So you grind your coffee, distribute it with your hand, press it down nice and firm, and if the tamper goes this deep, then you have the correct dose. And even if you have slightly more, slightly less, it's okay. Generally, it won't have a big issue. And then lock the portafilter nice and tight all the way to the right. And as you saw, you want to clean the edges before locking it in. So remove any coffee grounds. And then I'm going to get rid of the hot water now. You want to add any sugar or syrup at this stage before adding the espresso. Right. Okay. Time to make the shot. So I'm going to actually reset my scale. So just to show you how much coffee we get. These buttons are programmable, so you can change them to whatever length you prefer. But I've reset them to factory settings, so I'll show you what they, or at least what the double gives you out of the box. Again, this is on grind size number 10. It's giving us around 11, 12 o'clock pressure, which is perfect. There we go, that's the double shot there. You can either have that as one drink, or you can split it in 2 shots and make that into 2 drinks. Okay, I'm just pouring the milk now, so next step is steaming the milk. Yeah, it was a nice and symmetrical flow there. We got 45 grams, so a bit more than we were hoping. So yeah, that's the factory settings. You can always change them. So we got 45. Usually I aim for around 35 to 40 because that's double of 17 or 18. So 35 to 40 would be the dose I would want to get. So if I were to make another coffee, I would program the machine. You know, I would actually grind the coffee, tamp the coffee, and put the portafilter on, and then I would program the machine as I make the coffee. If your pressure is very, very high, that means your grind size is too fine or too large on the number. If your pressure is very, very low, it means your grind size is too low. Sorry, if your pressure is too low, it means your grind size is very coarse, or that your number is too small. So on this machine, a large number means a finer grind size. So you want to increase the grind size, increase the number, make it finer, to slow it down, to give that water extra pressure. Okay. Take it out, give it a good knock. If you don't have a knock box, I think I have one for sale. I just have one spare, I think. But anyway, after that, you'll see that obviously the portafilter is dirty, and also the group head is dirty. So what I do is just a blank shot to rinse things. Just like that. You can even lock it in. And this will flush the system. What I also like to do is I like to grab a tissue, dry the port filter, dry the shower screen, and wipe any coffee grounds and dirt that could, accumulate over time. This will keep your machine nice and happy. Lock it in a little bit because we're not making a coffee, you don't have to lock it in all the way. And yeah, that's the machine cleaned from the coffee side. Now let's make this, let's steam some milk and make this into a latte. I'm going to mix up my espresso in the meantime, mix up any sugar or crema that I have. With the steamer, give it a few seconds. It will take about 10-15 seconds to start steaming. Fill your milk jug about halfway with milk. So here's the milk jug that it comes with. When the steam is all the way up to pressure, turn it off, position your jug like this, turn it back on. You need to learn how to steam the milk if you don't know already. It just takes a bit of practice. You need to have the milk spinning at all times and position the wand at a distance that's not too deep into the milk but also not too superficial. And you want to stop the steamer when the milk is too hot to touch, so just there. Perfect. After you finish steaming your milk, the machine will cool down and it will actually automatically purge the water. And so now you see the buttons light up again. That means the machine is in espresso mode. So when you turn on the steamer, it will go into steam mode, and the boiler is really hot to produce steam. Then when you turn it off, it automatically waits for you maybe 5 seconds, and after the 5 seconds it will cool down. It's important to clean the wand after, so make sure you grab a wet towel and wipe the wand all around. Make sure you get all the edges clean, because it gets really hot and you don't want the milk to stick on there. It becomes really hard and it sticks on the metal. Then give it a purge, so just turn it on for a second just to pump, just like that, to pump a bit of water or steam. You can do this before the purge, you can do this before the machine cools down from the steam mode. Just give it a few seconds. And that's enough. And now the machine will cool down again. So let's say you started steaming. You can do this earlier. So let's say you start steaming, and then you have your wand in the milk. Turn it off. Take the milk out. Wipe it, and also purge it. Because this stage, the steam pressure is strong, so you can purge quickly. So you can do the purge before the machine cools down. We've got nice smooth milk in here. So when you finish the steaming, knock the jug on the counter to break any air bubbles, and then swirl it around just like this to mix it up. You want the surface to be nice and smooth, almost like wet paint on top of the milk. And then if you're skilled enough, you can do some latte art. I'm not skilled in latte art, but sometimes I try. Today we didn't get any patterns, unfortunately. Actually, the milk is a bit thicker than I was hoping. It's more like a cappuccino now, but yeah, it looks really good. Here's the final result. Got a lot of foam there. Looks very nice. I'm looking forward to having this. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'm sure you can do better latte art than me. And I look forward to seeing you on Thursday. Cheers.